Welcome students. In the engineering geology in the third unit we have seen about the fold, fault, joints and unconformities. Okay. In the past class we have seen and we saw what is that weakness, internal weakness of the rock, what is the effect of that weakness on the civil engineering, why that weakness has caused, and also the salient features of that also we saw, and also the effect on this dams, tunnels, reservoirs, the railways, roadways, we saw that one. And now we will go in for the Indian stratigraphy. Okay. So what is the aim, principle, everything we will see. Okay. So what is that is that it is a branch of geology that deals with the description, correlation and the classification of strata in sedimentary rocks. Why mainly it is a stratigraphy is mainly deals with the sedimentary rocks means igneous rocks will have a standard property. Okay, if I am going to take a granite or a basalt or the lava that is forming a rock, it will be having specific properties. But these sedimentary rocks are mainly formed due to the sediments at a certain place. It may be from 100 kilometers or it can be from 1000 kilometers that can be eroded due to any natural resources and it is sedimented there for millions of years and it forms the rocks. The bottom, if I am going to take this as a sedimentary rock, the bottom layer will have several 1500 million rocks, but this will have the new rock, right? This is a young rock, we call it as a young rock. This is a old rock, this is a young rock, okay? Young and old rocks, okay? So the next one, it is actually mostly in India and also we will see in Andhra Pradesh. Due to this sedimentary rocks, due to the stratigraphy, what are the minerals that are formed and what are the things that it is divided as in India. Okay. So deals with the history of the rocks of the crust of the earth. Okay. So based on this, what are the changes, times of era that we will be studying, everything that we will study. Sedimentary rocks, now why it is the main thing that it reveals the geological, graphical and also the biological environment. As I told you, it is mainly because of the sediments. The sediments may be fossils, a dead body, dead animals or dead leaves that is millions of years ago it transforms to rocks. Or it may be of the sediments from a particular igneous rocks or particular metamorphic rocks. Right? So it is mainly the geological, also geographical and also the biological this environment of the rocks, the properties of the rocks will be studied. Okay, plays a very important role. It is a systematic study, the stratigraphy, and also these questions we have to arrive because of this study can be correctly done or elaborated. Where, when they are formed. Okay, as I told you, the bottom rocks will be old rocks, the top rocks will be young rocks. So we can see when they are formed, whether it is an old rock or an young rock. What happened to them? Why they are formed? Okay. So what happened means whether there is a fault or fault, why it is there. Or if there is a very hard layer, how it is formed with the hard layer. And also subsequent to their formation. Either it is formed as a layer or formed as a fault or formed as a single rock, everything. What is the eventual relationship of form at various places? Okay. So maybe there may be, for example, this this animals, dinosaurs, everything was extinct. Okay, but the dead animals, bones, everything should have transformed into a rock. So based on that, we can say that these are the animals that was present there. Based on the biological formation of the rocks, we can say these are the animals that was already there. Okay, which was extinct. So this rock had formed. Like that, we can tell. Even in the various places of the world, they will tell that these animals were there. This type of man were there, like that. How they are finding out, it is mainly based on the rock formation. That is the biological formation. Okay, what is the principles of the stratigraphy? The first principle is the law of superposition. I told you. So it is the principles that is mainly based on the relative ages of the strata, how the sedimentary rocks are formed. That is the overlays, that is one layer will be there, it will be of 1 million years. After that the sedimentation will come, right, sediments will come and it will form a layer, right. So like that layers of layers will be formed, okay. So superposition, it is undisturbed rock layer that forms due to the sediments of layer by layer that forms the first principles, okay. So the youngest bed will be always at the top and the oldest bed will be always at the bottom. Okay. The second one, it is a fossil content. Fossil is nothing but the dead parts of the plants and animals. So this becomes fossils, and these fossils will take millions of years, MA, we call it as MA, as millions of years ago, MA to convert into a rock. So I told you just now, as I told you, that the fossils, depending upon the properties, formation, biological characteristics, we can see when is the, what is the type of rocks it will be. Okay. And the third one, lithological character. Lithological character is nothing but the formation. Okay. Whether it is a strip formation or it is a fold formation, fault formation, everything, we can know what is the type of thing. These are the three laws of principles that has to be there. And what is the geological time scale? Sedimentary rocks is not formed within a day or 2 or 3. It takes millions of years to form the rocks. Even the sediments are transported from one place to another, maybe 100 kilometers or 1,000 kilometers. But when it is getting settled down, the bed after bed after bed, it takes 100 million years ago to form a rock. Okay. So what is this? History is about 4,500 million years ago. The earth, for the earth history, it is 4,000 million years ago. So for 4,000 million years, what are the formation of the rocks? Okay. So roughly represented by the column of the sedimentary rocks now presents the earth. In this record, the time elapsed during the formation of unconformity is missing. So the unconformities are plays a very major role in determining the type of rocks. But here this, if I am going to study the unconformity in the rock, it is majorly missing because of the time elapsed. So, on this basis, standard geological time scale has been prepared, by which it is used universally for the correlation of the rock formation. Okay. So the major units, we call it as the Proto-Sterozoic and Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Xenozoic. And this, what is an era? This is called as an era. Era are the major units of the geological time scale. Just to go through the definitions, it is very important. So it is the major units of the geological time scale. Next one in the periods. Periods is nothing but the small period, time period, a small time period. So the era is again subdivided into small time period, that is called as the time periods. And the epochs. Epochs are the periods further divided into a small parts called the epochs. And Archean rocks are mostly the igneous rocks that are eroded, that is due to the erosion, it is coming and settled in some other place, and it is not having any fossils. Fossils, I again and again telling, fossils are the dead animals converted to rocks. So these Archean rocks will not have fossils but have igneous rocks. And the geological time scale represents the chronological subdivisions of the earth. Okay. For example, I can take Cenozoic, means it is having 65 million years. Already the rocks will be, formation of the rocks will be given in millions of years age, millions of years ago. So from the time to 65 million years, we call this as a quaternary and tertiary. Here modern land, plants and animals are there. It is many mammals exist. So we know mammoth, it got extinct. This dinosaur, it got extinct. Right? So the tertiary, it is the mammals, birds and flowering plants. Plants also, birds also, all extinct come under this category. It is around 0 to 65 years. 65 to 230 years, we call it as a Mesozoic, where the Jurassic, Triassic and Cretaceous, that is flowering plants, that are dinosaurs there, reptiles, so many reptiles. There are, as per the history, there are around 1 lakh type of reptiles were there, but now it is only some thousands of types of reptiles are available. So these are all that was extinct in the year 65 to 230 million years ago. So from 230 to 570, it is called as Paleozoic. It is the Permian, Carboniferous, Devonian, Silurian, Ordovician and Cambrian. Here it is a non-flowering plant. Non-flowering plants are the trees mainly also coming under the plants categories, and also the amphibians. Amphibians is a that can live in water, and the corals are deep sea and freshwater fishes. Okay, Craptotiles. Craptotiles is a little bit of different types of reptiles. That is also triobites. These are all extinct and it was there in the Paleolithic. Then from 570 to 2500 million of years, it is just divided into soft body animals and lifeless. And this is not, unconformity is not there available so distinctive. Before 2000 years, 5000 years ago, it is found. So the another thing it is that this is a time, as we have seen, this is a time zone that we have divided 65 million years ago and present 250 to 66, that is approximate. This is the actual formation. So what is the now coming to the stratigraphy of India, that is about the earth and earth surface. Now we are going to divide it into the three main regions. The first one, it is the peninsular India. It is the south of the plains of Indus and Ganges river system. This is the peninsular India, right? We call it as the south of the Ganges system. Okay, and this is made up of rocks of Archean and Precambrian age. And the Indo-Gangetic plain, it is a deep crustal trough filled with quaternary sediments. It is chiefly made up of sands and clays, right? So these are the, because it is all along the river plains. This is the Indo-Gangetic plains. The next one, it is the peninsula. Third one, it is the peninsula. Okay, extra peninsular India, it is the extra peninsular India. Okay, first one, it is one. This is second one. This is the third one. Okay, right? So here you can see, this is the peninsula which is major part of the India. Okay, so the next one, it is the Indo-Gangetic plain all along the Ganges. You can see it is also gone into the Bangladesh also. It is the peninsular region, right? The next one, you see the what is the major stratigraphic units of India, right? So what is the main thing is the Archeans, Kadampas, Vindhyas, Gondwanas and Deccan tracts. These are the 5 types. We will see here in detail about this 5 types. The first one, we will take up the Archean system. Archean system is made up of very ancient rocks such as gneiss, schist and granites. All these things comes under the igneous rocks, mostly the igneous rocks, and these rocks form a basement on which all younger and sedimentary rock formation rest. Peninsular India is a shield area and has remained virtually undisturbed and unaffected by the changes. The general characteristics of these Archean rocks are unfossiliferous, that is, it is not consisting of any fossils. No fossils are available in this place. Okay, and the second one, that there was no life on the earth at the time of formation of this Archean rocks. Every life was not they are available in that part, and also they are generally highly metamorphized. What is metamorphized? Metamorphic is a change, complete change of property that has happened, and they are contorted and subjected to intense folding and faulting. This is another major thing. The main weakness that is found in this type of rock is folding and faulting, and they are included by igneous rocks to acid to ultra basic composition. Archean rocks of South India are Darbar supergroup. This is one of the 5 zones. This is the first zone. They are best developed in Karnataka and the adjoining state. Some part of Tamil Nadu and some part of Andhra also comes under this one. And this Darbar supergroup are deposited over a basement of the fundamental gneiss. The main formation of the rock is gneiss. And the chief rock types of these groups are gneiss and granites and cover the major part of the India. The classification of Darbar supergroup are based on the sedimentary structures. All the stratigraphy is all based on sedimentary structures. It is upper Darbar, middle Darbar and lower Darbar groups. Okay. So actually it is mostly in the mountain ranges of 50 to 80 kilometers wide it is there, and it is highly morphodized gneiss or granites, and also the main other types are chalconites, candolites and podorites are the chief rock of this group. So it is found in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Odisha, Rajasthan apart from Karnataka. The next one, it is a Kadapa system. So the Kadapa system covers over 36,000 square kilometers. The length of the basin is around 300 kilometers and the width is around 140 kilometers. It is mainly based on the metamorphized rocks of granite and gneiss, okay, and it is separated from the underlying crystalline soil from a well-developed unconformity known as Epachian unconformities. So it is having very good layered soil, and the rocks of the Kadapa system are devoid of fossils. Almost all these things are not having fossils, and it is main rocks that is include as quartzite, indurate sandstone, slates with some banded jaspers. Jaspers is a very costly one of the minerals, right? And Kadapa system has supergroup is divided into 4 groups. That the groups are separated from one another by unconformity. Each group begins with the coarse sediments and the base followed by the finer sediment. That is, its coarse sediments will be coarse grained, will be there, and based on this, and the top layer will be fine grain, and in between it will be very, the grain soil is very important. So here you can see the formation of the quartzite. Kistna group, it is thickness of 600 to 1000. The unconformity, it is of Nallamale group, Chayar groups, and Papangai group. Everything it is having different. And the main formation, it is the quartzite shales. Shales and quartzites are the main formation of these groups. Above 4 group each, that is, I told you this Kadapa group is followed into this 4 groups. That is Kitsna group, Nallamale group, Chayar group, and Papangani group. Okay. The next one, above the 4 groups, each group starts with quartzite that are followed by shales and limestone. Limestone is the top layer, which is a very young bed layer. Okay. And the Kadapa system, marble, slates, barsite, asbestos, and the mica, lead, and zinc ores are the main minerals that are found in this area. And the Pakal group and the Kalagri group are the equivalent to Kadapa group, but they are not included in the Kadapa groups. The third system is the Vindhyan system or Vindhyan group. It is exposed over 1 lakh square kilometers, where 36 square kilometers of Kadapa group. It is the major part of the group that is coming under the Vindhyan system, and here it is separated into Kaima, Leva, and Bandar groups. It is 3 groups. It is mainly divided into, and mainly in the group the rocks are formed of sandstones and shales. Okay. So Bandar group, Reva group, Kaima group, this is the lowest part. The under part, that is 1300 mm. Up to 1000 mm, this is due to the formation of sandstone, shales, limestone. 1000 to 2000, it is having, because of this formation, it will have diamonds. And also this Kaima group, this is 2000 meters to 400 meters below, and below that it is called as a semi group. The groups are separated by diamond bearing conglomerates. So it is a very, if these rocks are found in this group, we will get so much of diamond under that minerals. So it is very important to find out. So these are the things that are found. Limestone, diorite, pyrite, and the building stone and the glass sand are found in this system. The next one, the 4th one, it is the Gondwana system. In the Gondwana system, the Vindhyan rocks during the pre-Cambrian era was found, right? So it is having a carboniferous period, so where the carbon is found in large quantity, and it is mostly the other parts of India. From where it is found is the Australia, South America, and Antarctica, and India. These are all formed, and major stretch, that is continuous stretch of land, it is this system are formed. Okay. So the next system, it is having, Gondwana system has 2-fold classification and 3-fold classification. 2-fold classification is having only the upper layer and the lower layer, and they are separated by a unconformity in the middle, right? So this upper layer and lower layer, in between the unconformity, we can have several minerals into it, and these are the different types. That is Jabalpur, Rajmar, Mahadeva comes under the upper Gondwa, and lower Gondwa, Damuda, and Talshi, and this is the formation, different formation. Mainly I told you sandstone, shale, limestone. Why these names are coming again and again? Mostly it is a sedimentary rocks. Okay, shale, coal, everything that comes under this Gondwana group. The last group is the Deccan Tracts. The Indian Peninsula was affected by intensive volcanic activity. So due to the volcanic activity, around 5 lakh square kilometers of the peninsula India comes under this Deccan group. We can call it as a Deccan Peninsula group. Right? Deccan Tracts are believed as a result of the fissure type eruption. Okay, it is not due to the as we have seen, that is the limestone, the bedded stones and unconformities. It is due to the fissure type eruption, and 7 to 30 meters, but near Mumbai, and it is having about 2000 meters along the coastal areas. Okay, so actually it is due to the stress and strain that is released due to the rock formation. This type of tracts are formed. And also in 1958, the geologists recorded the 48 flows of the Deccan Tracts. That is, different types of tracts are there, and it is having around 280 meters depth in various places. Okay, so the road metals, building stone, bauxite deposit, and semi-precious stones are all comes under this Deccan Plateaus. And other minerals that are found are quartz, amatites, agate, chalcedony, black soils are the important economic minerals. Deccan Tracts are having good aquifers, so it is having a underground water very good, from which we can get the water, and also the lava for volcanic formation will be very higher, in which the groundwater can be obtained due to these aquifers. Now we will see about the mineral resources of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so Andhra Pradesh is having a vast and varieties of mineral resources. Already you know that it is divided into 3 areas, right? Okay, so one is Telangana, this is coastal Andhra, the next one it is the this is Kadapa, Chittoor, everything comes under one area. So it is having so much of minerals based on these areas, and it is having the fertilizers, ceramics, refractories, abrasives, glass, foundry, oil well drilling, fillers, gold, diamond, everything that is coming from Andhra. So we will see the places. Okay, so actually this state is having 42 industrial minerals and certain minor minerals. So some of the minerals are mica, basalt, limestone, dolomite, fire clay, ball clay, feldspar, fullers, right? Silica, sand, and dimensional stones, etc. The first one we will see is the asbestos. Asbestos are found near Pulivendra and the Brahmapalli in Kadapa districts. These are the number of asbestos deposit in Kadapa and the Kurnool districts. Okay, it is having so much of asbestos fibers, that is a mineral. And the next one is the bauxite. Bauxite is found in Mangalmet and Kadapa district. And Andhra Pradesh is the second largest state in India to find out the producer of the bauxite. And it is having a 70 million ton and the grade tons of metal grade of bauxite that is available in East Godavari and Visakhapatnam. And the next one it is the coal. Coal is found in Goridevi Peta and other region, and Narasapuram and its Chintalapudi of West Godavari. Mainly in the West Godavari season, the area this coal is there. And copper is found in almost this Kadapa, Kurnool, Nellore, right? And Prakasam districts. And clays plays a very important role in the production of the cement and also the production of the different cementitious material like tiles, boards, everything it is there. And it is there workable clays, right? That are workable clays are found out. Fire clay, ball clay, china clay, ordinary clay. Different types of clays are also found in East and West Godavari, Guntur, Kurnool, Nellore, Prakasam districts, Visakhapatnam and other districts. And diamonds. Diamonds mainly it is found in this Anantapur, Kurnool, Kadapa, Krishna, Guntur, Prakasam, Chittoor state. We can find out the diamond minerals that is there, and it is having a 50,000 square kilometers under the earth surface having diamond in the Andhra. And also dolomite. Dolomite is found in Anantapur, Kadapa and Kurnool. This dolomite is used for the cementitious bonding. Okay. And the next one, gold. Gold Ratnagiri is the main, all of you know this place where the gold is found in very high. And also this and other places where it is there, Chittoor, Anantapur, Kurnool, Guntur, Prakasam, Kadapa and Nellore districts also has a gold minerals under the earth surface. And iron ore is found in these districts again in Kurnool, Anantapur, Chittoor and Prakasam districts. And manganese are found in the Vizianagaram, Srikakulam, Prakasam districts. Sorry, I am not so familiar with the pronunciation of the districts, but the mica is found in Krishna, East and West Godavari, Nellore and Visakhapatnam districts. And monozites, these are found in the Prakasam district, Godavari, Krishna. It is almost river side, it is found almost in the sides of the river channels. And petroleum, oil and natural gases are found in around 20,000 square kilometers of Andhra, and offshore and in onshore, both the places it is found, and also 21,000 kilometers in offshore in East and West Godavari and the Krishna districts. The last one, it is a talc or soapstone. Talc is nothing but the powder which we are using, right? So the best grade is found in the Kurnool, Anantapur and Kadapa, and the worst, that is a bad grade which is used for other purpose that we are using in the Chittoor. So by this I complete the third unit. Okay. So then we have seen in this class the stratigraphy of the earth surface, the differentiation of earth surface as per the ages, and what is the very importance of the sedimentary rocks. And we also found out what are the 5 types of stratigraphy divisions of India, and we saw about the different minerals that are available in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you.